Hello everyone, we are going to do another Aeolian Starcraft broadcast. I'm going to do my fourth game of the day. I'm really starting off trying to fill in as many games as I can. Like I said, I'm doing platinum level games. I want you guys to get a feel for this and really boost that level of gaming to analyze this, because I feel like this is the level right where people are about to break through. They're getting that understanding of the game, they're getting the mechanics down, and now it's time to learn some of the finer nuances. I also recommend day nines, dailies, and casts to really get some good strategies down and good things to follow. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into this game between our Zerg player Mandra and our Protoss player Hephaestion, I believe. I could be botching that pronunciation, but we're going to go with Hephaestion. And as you can see, standard early game's always the same, as I'm sure you know. And as we're looking around here, just to continue on with what I was talking about earlier, I feel like this level of play is where people can break through. They're playing enough. They understand the game. Some of it comes down to mechanics. And so what I would like to encourage from everyone out there, if you are watching these commentaries, is get into the discussion. Discuss mechanics. Discuss where I'm wrong in my casting and the things I mess up on, and just start creating that community for the platinum level player or even lower diamond level player that's really looking to break through, so they can start to develop their own style, their own flair. Not necessarily mirror the professional players, but bring something new to the game themselves. I feel like this community is expanding. You got the expansion Heart of the Swarm on the way, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So I really feel like this is the level of player that can bring that to the community. So just continuing on to get back to the game, we see standard gas right around 13, 14. Gateway's up. We see some nice island harass, stopping the Zerg player there from expanding quickly. This usually causes the Zerg to have to get a spawning pool up, which you see is exactly what Mandra is doing. And you can see the probes in here, checking everything out, seeing what's going on. Pretty standard. I'm surprised he hasn't gone now for the hatchery, but hey, the probes are harassing. This is a great move by Protoss players to keep the Zerg player in check. So many people want to go that early expand build now. It's a standard Zerg play, but you look at strategies that Spanishi was doing, Damaga, Idra, they're doing that early expand, getting it up really quickly, and it's a hard thing to deal with. If you can just patrol, just harass it like what's going on here, you can really delay that for a long time, and this puts the Zerg in a bad position and sometimes forces them into an all-in situation, depending on their skill level. So you can see he's still harassing. Throws up one more pylon. It could really do some damage, but we have some Zerglings on the way here to quickly relieve that. And the probe's on his way out, and the hatchery will go up. But still, good harass. Held off that hatchery until the 4-minute mark. And as you can see, chrono boosting out warp gate technology, very standard. Blocked off the zealot. Everyone does that play. What do we have building up here? Just a pylon for scouting, I believe. And it looks like that probe will make it back safely. So no units lost. One for the Zerg. Nothing major. Again, that's actually a bug. There's been no resources lost. The pylon did not go down. There's a few resources lost for canceling the pylon, but the pylon did not go down. I don't believe. So we're going 48. This is it's a standard Protoss build. I generally stay away from this build just because it's so standard, and with the new patch, it's been slowed down significantly. However, it's still very effective. It's a really good strategy. I personally don't like it. It's kind of simplistic. You know, it's a great build for this level of player. It doesn't have the micro down. It's a standard thing that you can repeat, and it's really effective against all races. But for my own sense of the game, I like to have fun, I like the creativity, and I don't feel it when I do the 48. It's just repetitive and the same thing. And ultimately will not lead to your developing skills, getting up to that higher level of gaming. So as you can see, both players still focusing mostly on macro. Definitely the Zerg. He got that early scout in, so he knows the 48's coming. He's likely likely going to get some Zerglings out here, pretty much in mass. But yeah, no, he's still running up. I feel like that's a bad move on the Zerg's part here. You should know there's some push coming. There's some offensive units coming. He needs to get some defensive units out, and now he's getting some Zerglings. It could be a little late, but the Protoss player's going back, so it should be standard. And the 4-gate was a fake 4-gate. Once it got scanned, it's a good move. Once he got scouted, he goes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and expand and match you in the macro. Although apparently the Zerg player knew it was coming, because the Zerg player was not nearly as worried as I figured they should be. Though he does get the defenses up. He does have Zerglings out at the front door. So he's guarding, he's protecting. And getting the spine crawlers up for the static defenses as well. So he's a little worried, but I think he has a sense that there's not really a problem going on there. So you can see the drone count favoring the Zerg, but not by that much. It's not really that significant of a discrepancy. Sorry, as I take a drink of water. I've been casting a lot of the day, and these have been some pretty long, interesting games, so it does dry out the throat and gets a little taxing. You can see the Zerg looking to make a push now. Heading on down. Just trying to control that centerpiece. Since they did spawn so close together, that watchtower is going to be crucial in maintaining scouting and awareness. Zerg player always has an overlord nearby, ready to head down if necessary. Also why the pylons are up here. This is also for spotting any kind of Nidus network play or anything of that nature, although probably not terribly necessary due to the fact that they are spawned so close, but still. You can sneak a Nidus in the back door, sneak it back into this area. You can quickly rip apart the probe line before they even have time to react. As you can see, the Zerg player is off to a third expansion. This is a good move. He's maintained in the center and continuing to macro up. And as you can see, the probe count, due to the fact Protoss has not really harassed the Zerg, and you don't want to let the Zerg get a runaway macro game going. Although, granted, Protoss player is keeping up in size, so it's not really that bad of a deal. They're keeping their army size small, got the sentries up in case they need to block things off, but really they're looking to macro as well. So, but still, over time, if you do not harass the Zerg player, they will out macro you. And they'll just beat you with sheer numbers, as we saw previously in the Terran Zerg game. But really standard play so far. Nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing that creative. Which you see a lot at this level. That's why when you can start introducing those creative builds, you can really start taking advantage of the fact that most people go the same build. Most people go these standard plays, and they just can't keep track of as many things going on as your pro level can, so you can really catch them off guard. We have a robotic support bag coming up, so obviously we're going to have some Colossus coming in here. We have defense armor, ground armor level 1 also coming in, so looking to build up his army, strengthen it up. Yeah, it's a good move. So far, we have all ground units for the Zerg player. We have a Hydralisk Den, so the Colossus will be able to rip through that. I feel like there hasn't been enough scouting done in this game at the moment. They're just kind of going standard builds. I don't feel Zerg should generally go Hydralisk against a Protoss player unless there's Void Rays out. Just as soon as Colossus hits the field, they can literally just melt away any Hydras out there. And going for a 4th expansion as well. He's looking to take over his side of the map quickly, doing the mass macro style that Zergs are famous for. See a little supply block here for our Protoss player. See if he has any pylons going up. He does not. Oh, there we go. Yes, unsupply block himself. Things you want to stay on top of, you know. It's missed timings like that all of a sudden a rush can come in at the wrong time when you had the minerals to produce some more units, but you just supply blocked yourself. And a mistimed rush, and before you know it, you lose because of the fact you supply blocked yourself. I've had that happen a couple times, so definitely aware of the possibility of that. So both players playing very safe. I feel like what's going on here is, both they're macro players, and they're trying to learn the macro game, and with that, they just can't keep track of the micro. So there isn't much scouting going on around the middle of the map. It's pretty much established that the Zerg has gained control of that watchtower, and both have agreed that. And the Protoss is just macroing up on his side. I really, as I said before, I mean, that's the #1 area to improve upon, is no timing windows, know when there's opportunities to strike, scout so you know what your opponent's doing and you know when they might be weak, and do little harass things, do little things that throw them off of their game, because it's at this level of play, as soon as you can start to jostle them a little bit, make them a little bit uncomfortable, before you know it, their build starts falling apart, and they start losing control, their macro slips, they lose a bunch of units, they lose their probe line without even noticing it. You can win a lot of games that way, and that's really what can push you up into the next level of play, at least get you competing on that slightly higher level. Also, I'd just like to take the time while this game's kind of in the tech build, people are just building up, getting upgrades, trying to mass up to those high tier units. I would like to say to anyone who is watching these videos, I also recommend any comments you can throw into these videos about how people can improve outside of the game, what they can do to get their APM up, things they can do to improve their strategies, to practice micro, to just understand some of those little nuances of the game that they might be lacking in. It'd be really helpful to post those into the comment section. Got the Observer flying in here. It's going to see everything that's going on for Protoss. You can see got the Twilight Council up and running. I'm not sure what he's going to do with the Twilight Council after he went Colossus. I think this is going to work, but it shouldn't. That's the thing. He's going too much tech. He's using way too much tech. And at any point in time, the Zerg could overwhelm him right now. As you can see, in the units, he had outmassed. Now it's getting even again, but he had outmassed. And the Zerg's just sitting back. The Zerg does not need to be sitting back. They have a huge supply discrepancy, but it's looking like he's going to allow the Protoss player to get built up, get teched up, and once the Protoss player is built up and teched up, you do not stop a Protoss player at that point, unless you are way above their skill level. Then, and only then, can you. Now, I don't know if this is necessary, but it's not a bad idea to go ahead and wall off this side to basically claim the only entrance to your base is right here. So you can see the Colossus ball, the Protoss ball. This is